I am Reverend Jim Kulbaski, and you are at service number 13 of the Divine Energy Spiritual Center. The service is entitled, Don't Give Up on Your Dreams. I'm going to start with something funny today. There is a minister, and during his homilies, he gave people notice that they were of different lengths. The first one he gave was just 5 minutes. The second one was 15 minutes. And the third one was 45 minutes. And parishioners were wondering what's going on. So one of the parishioners walked up to the minister and said, "What's going on here? Are you okay? Everything, it seems like it's not planned out very well." And the minister said, "Well, for the first service, which was 5 minutes, I got new dentures. And they were really sore on my gums. So it was hard for me to talk and painful. So I only spoke for 5 minutes. For the second service, I got used to my dentures, so it was the normal 15 minutes. But for the third service, I was in a rush and accidentally picked up my wife's dentures and couldn't stop talking." So this is the last service while the church owns the Holistic Center. Sad to be ending this chapter in my life, but I'm so happy that the center is going to continue. Jackie and Robin will be taking it over starting July 1st. The spiritual center will continue. The church will stay in existence. I'm taking the summer off. I need a break. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but we'll start back up in the fall in exactly what form and what place, that's yet to be determined. So this service is entitled, Don't Give Up on Your Dreams. What does that mean? What can we learn from it? Throughout life, and especially in the last 3 years, I've seen a lot of adversity. I've experienced a lot of it myself. People losing jobs, people losing their life partner, death in the family, so many different adversities, and it's tough. It hurts even more when you feel as if you're divinely guided. So many people felt in their heart, their intuition, that they were doing the right thing, but yet in the end, it didn't work out. And that makes it really painful. You manifested everything. You were positive about the situation. You worked hard. You had the right financial backing, but yet whatever it was, it didn't work out. Sometimes they could be so painful that you wonder if life is even worth living after you've experienced something like that. It's hard. So the general issue of experiencing of loss and things not working out like you have hoped, what's really going on here? Now, if we think about, for example, a child having cancer and a child dying of cancer, we can all relate to that and say, well, that's part of God's plan. Or maybe you believe that your higher self planned it out, or you have some sort of lesson that you want to learn. So that, when it's God's plan, it's sort of okay. We're there to learn something. I don't believe a child dying is random. In some shape, way, or form, that's planned out. So what do we do to recover from something like this? We learn to pull ourselves up. We learn to recover. We grow. People experience adversities all the time. Take, for example, this person. First, he lost his job. The same year, he was defeated in a bid for the Senate. The next year, his business failed. 2 years after that, the woman he planned to marry died. The next year, he had a nervous breakdown and couldn't function. Then a whole list of failures. Defeated as Speaker of the House, lost the renomination for Congress, defeated in his run for the Senate, defeated as Vice President, defeated again in Senate. But in 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States. He had victories and positive things happen in that time, But I don't think there's anybody who suffered more adversity than him, and look what he ended up doing with himself. That's a lesson that we can all learn. My marriage ended 3.5 years ago, and that was really tough. But you know what I did this week? I counseled 3 people who were going through a really tough divorce. I had empathy. I had compassion. I knew what to say because I had been there. I never could have imagined myself doing that before I experienced my adversity. There's some purpose to it, and it's nice to help other people. Further, the ending of my marriage launched this beautiful spiritual rebirth that I'm going through now. Another example of God's plan is this holistic center. I had a dream of a thriving holistic center, helping so many people, setting it up as a nonprofit. There were so many wonderful things. In my heart, I felt so guided. It was the right thing to do. I knew it would succeed, and I promised other people that it would succeed. There was no doubt in my mind. We had planned to move across the railroad tracks to a wonderful, beautiful space. It was so amazing. It had a nice retail area, a huge classroom area where we could easily put 30 or 40 people. There were 5 private offices. There were so many wonderful things about it. But after 2 months of negotiation, it was clear that it wasn't meant to be ours. There were just so many issues with it. And I take that as a sign that it wasn't meant for us. It was part of God's plan that we weren't to go there. It hurt a lot. We need to recover from that, but that's the way it works out sometimes. And again, I'm so happy that we have this place continuing under the new ownership so that people can continue to be helped. Okay, so our plan didn't work out. Our relationship wasn't good. We lost a job. What do we do? How do we deal with this situation? You need to evaluate what happened. Did it feel right from the start? Did it make financial sense? Did you work hard? Did you call upon people to help you out? Did you do everything you can to make it a success? And for the most part, when we really want something, we would have done everything. We did everything we could. So let's just put your chin up and say, we gave it a great try. It wasn't meant to be. If there's something, if you look back and evaluate and you didn't do everything, if you made a mistake, then learn from your mistakes. We're all human. That's okay. And you should still be proud of your accomplishments. As to my marriage, what did I learn from that failed marriage? As a male, I maybe took my wife's words too literally. She was going through some tough times, and I sat down to talk to her, and she said that she had to work this out herself, and that I should just keep back a little bit and let her figure it out. And so I did. I respected her wish. But in the end, I found out that she really wanted me to be by her side and talk through the issue that she was going through. And I didn't realize that that's what was happening. So I learned something from it. Also, with regard to my marriage, my wife wanted to start up a business. I had my own hobbies, my own career. So I basically left it up to her, and I told her, well, this is what you need to do to start your business. And I never sat down and helped her with it. I gave her a path for her to follow, but she didn't know what to do. She wasn't experienced in the business environment. And she was, in the end, very upset that I didn't help her. So I learned that when somebody, especially somebody in your life, has an important dream, something that they really want, sit down with them and help them achieve that. So there's always something positive and beneficial that we can learn. So you had a difficult experience. You realize it's not going to work out. You've evaluated, now what? We really need to rest up and recover from what we've experienced. When we experience something traumatic, it takes time to recover, and that's okay. Respect that. Take the time that you need. Take a vacation. Start a new hobby. Do what you need to do. This could take many months, a half year or longer, and that's okay. You need to respect what you're going through and build yourself up. Me, I'm taking the summer off. This has been pretty difficult. I still have to work my normal day job, but I need to take a break from this. Just 2 days ago, Rays of Healing Church in Falls Church, where I'm a minister, they asked me to do a service in July. And I was honored by that. I've done services there before, but I'm just too tired. I respectfully declined and said, I'll see you guys in the fall. I'll be back. I'm happy to help out. Another good thing we could do is meditation. When we're busy, when we're going through tough times, we don't have time to meditate, or it feels like we don't have time. Our mind is not in a good place. We can't quiet it enough sometimes to properly meditate. Now that you have a break, spend that time and meditate. Most of us here have taken some type of healing course or a Reiki course. We've neglected ourselves. Spend time healing yourself, both physically and especially emotionally and mentally. So you've had that setback. You're taking time to heal. It's time to recover. You're working on it. It's time to move on to the next phase. But don't give up on your dreams, but you need to modify them. Only you will know what's right for you. If you lost a job, start looking for a new job. If you lost a romantic partner, think of what you want and what the most efficient way to find that. If your spiritual growth didn't work out the way that you wanted it to, ask the universe what else is possible. There are people out there who are willing to help you. I'm willing to help anybody at any time. I've done so, and I will continue to do so. There are many people in the Manassas area, spiritual leaders, who will do the same. Some of them may charge for their time, but that's okay. They have to make a living too. Everybody has to pay the rent. So like that bird that put the pebbles in the water, take a step back and build yourself back up. And like that frog that kept on kicking and kicking until the milk churned into butter. Regroup, rest up, and persevere. The important thing is not to give up. Be flexible. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from the school of hard knocks. Release the past and move forward, because in the end, you will build your life into something wonderful. Thank you very much.